Hey everybody, this is Jason with JMS Technical Solutions. I am and will always be your Swiss Army Geek. What I want to talk about today is self-diagnostic and troubleshooting steps that you can take to either save time if I do have to come visit, or more importantly, maybe, avoid me having to come visit at all. Not every issue you guys have is one I need to intervene on. A lot of the time there are solutions readily available. So the first thing I want to encourage everyone to do anytime you're having a problem is stop. Stop what you're doing. Don't fight with the computer. Save your work as best you can and turn the machine off for a minute, 5 minutes at most. Let it cool off, let it relax, and let whatever problems were temporary problems get resolved just by rebooting it. People don't realize that computers oftentimes can resolve problems just in a reboot. So that's the first step. Reboot your machine, save your work, reboot, and go from there. Second step, whether or not you believe you have an antivirus program running in the background all the time, if you think you have a problem, run your antivirus. If you have more than one antivirus on there, for example, I run a combination of two antivirals, one of which is Malwarebytes, one of which is AVG. AVG is running all the time. Malwarebytes runs when I tell it to. Run the one that doesn't run all the time. So if I think something got past AVG, I run Malwarebytes, and a lot of the time that resolves my problem. Third step you can do, if you run your antivirus and it comes up with nothing, try running a program that cleans up all of your temporary files. And the best program I believe for that is a program called C Cleaner. Capital C Cleaner. And what that program does is it goes through your system and it finds all the unnecessary just clutter and junk that Windows naturally builds up over time, and it cleans it up. It gets rid of a lot of that stuff, and a lot of your performance problems are going to be a result of that. So if you do those three steps, first off, you can do those three steps as preventative maintenance. Regularly reboot your PC at least once a week, and then regularly run your antivirus, regularly run some kind of a cleaning tool. There are others out there. I'm not going to recommend them. CCleaner is the one I would choose for my customers because it's very, very simple. And if you run those three things, it's preventative maintenance. You are going to probably end up calling me less often. I wouldn't go so far as to say you won't need me anymore, but you won't need me as much. So that's kind of the thing. Now, if you do believe you have a virus that cannot be fixed with your software, and those can happen, there's a lot of people who have wrong ideas about what to do in that situation. I want to be very specific with you and be very concise in my instructions. If you believe you have a virus that you cannot fix with your antiviral, shut your computer off immediately. My reason for this is very, very simple. A machine that isn't turned on can't sustain any further damage. If you leave your computer running, you can still have problems come up. Hijackware, malware of all different kinds can still run while you're not touching the PC. So turn off the computer. And if your system is really stuck and you can't turn off the computer easily, if it's a desktop PC, pull the plug. If it's a laptop, hold the power button until the whole thing blacks out, but this is a last resort. As a matter of fact, if you aren't comfortable making that call, then simply call me and ask me if it's time to do that. But that's a last resort thing, and at that point, wait for myself or another technician to show up, and we will get you back up and running as best we can. So that's kind of where I wanted to go with this. It's not a real long video today. I just feel like there's a lot of people who don't necessarily know the basics, the basic troubleshooting thing. The last thing I do want to address very quickly is sort of a mantra that I think all of my students will recognize, and I think it's something that has incredible value when you're trying to learn the computer in the first place, but also when you're trying to figure something new out. And that mantra is simply read the screen. Don't get fixated on one point in space on the screen. Look all over the place. Check every menu. Check every line. It is astounding to me how often somebody will call me and say, I can't find X. And it's because they expected X to be in one very specific place, and instead it was just over in the other corner, but they literally somehow never even looked there. Read the whole screen, and read it accurately. Really read the words. Don't assume you know what it's telling you. For instance, if you get a pop-up message, there's a big difference between a random website pop-up that is asking you to install a piece of software and your actual antivirus telling you it needs an update. The first one you don't want to hit under any circumstances. The second one you must hit, or you literally are neutering your antiviral's ability to do its job. So it's critical that you learn how to read your screen, and it's critical that you read it accurately. So those are the last two tech tips of the day. Again, I'm Jason with JMS Technical Solutions. I am your Swiss Army geek. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas for other videos you'd like, please post them in the comments below. I always read them. And if you ever need support of any kind, my email is jason@jmstechnical.com, and my phone number is in the outro video, which will be coming right now.